He said he couldn't eat for his missing money. It was a decision he was happy to have made. When he arrived at the shop, he asked the lady at the front desk, and just like a dream, she brought out the bag with all the content intact. She told him that they couldn't contact him because there was no contact details. He said, I thanked her profusely. In fact, many might have felt embarrassed by my celebration, but I didn't care. I also remember the words of that program that my money would be found. Indeed, Allah is great. Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar for this kind of experiences. Just like we shared a couple of days ago, another Nigerian pilgrim found a huge sum of money, about 80,000 US dollars converted to Nigerian currency, which is around 56 million naira. But she returned it to the authority there in Saudi Arabia. She didn't decide to be selfish. She was able to return the money to the authority, and alhamdulillah, we could say some of these things that are happening over there are part of why we should, if we have the will and Allah called us to go to Saudi Arabia to witness the remarkable journey and also the sacrifice as enshrined in the religion of Islam. It is now time for us to link up with some of our expected guest for today on the program in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for us to have updates on flight operations. Especially, I'm trying to reach out to that of aero contractors, simply because they are part of the local air carriers that went to Saudi Arabia first before any other company, but they are finding it difficult in terms of bringing back the program. So we have them.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Good morning in Nigeria and good afternoon over there in
Wa
Saudi
alaikum
Arabia.
salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
All right, could you please introduce yourself
Good
to our
afternoon.
listener, especially for those who are listening to us for the first time? Introduce yourself and we move on with our conversation.
My name is Liman Usman Muhammad. I'm the Hajj coordinator for Aero Contractors Company of Nigeria for
Alhamdulillah.
Hajj.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for this opportunity to talk to us. What is the update concerning aero contractors?
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. From the last interview we had, we were in a stress, or rather in distress, where we couldn't get slots. All Nigerian carriers do not have enough slots.
No.
But Alhamdulillah, as I'm speaking with you today, all Nigerian carriers have enough slots from today till the end of the operation. All have slots, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Aero contractors will start flight operations tomorrow from 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, down to 20, 30, something. All we have slots, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I'm really happy
Yes,
to hear
all
this.
Nigerian carriers have enough slots now. All of us.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. This is
All
very
the slots
sharing
were
news.
given to us yesterday.
So
Yes, yes.
what was the
So
effort
inshallah, from tomorrow,
Yeah.
you will be seeing 7-8 flights into Nigeria on daily basis.
Alhamdulillah, I'm really happy to hear this particular update. What role did the National
Yes.
Hajj Commission played in seeing that this feat is achieved?
Alhamdulillah, they did a lot. Honestly, they had sleepless nights, especially grateful to the chairman, Barrister Zikirullah Hassan. He has tried having sleepless nights. Will be calling every minute, every second. He will be calling. What is the update? What are we doing? What have we gotten? Anything? Have we done everything? We need a letter. He will immediately call Commissioner Operations and the rest to write the letter immediately for to secure the slots. Honestly, they have tried. They have done their best.
Alhamdulillah, to hear that. So, aero contractors, when are you flying?
From tomorrow, inshallah, we'll be having an interrupted flight till we evacuate all our passengers.
Okay, how many passengers do you have?
Well, the primary assignment was 7,700, but as I told you initially, we brought in 11,676.
No.
But the commission is saying that we should only take back our originally assigned pilgrims, not the rescued ones. The rescued ones, we should leave them to the owners of the flights. So we will be taking about 7,700 plus passengers.
All right, thank you very much for that wonderful update. It is a cheering news for us down here at home, and I'm sure it is
Thank you.
also as cheering as it sounds to us to also our pilgrims over there in Saudi Arabia, and you inclusive.
Yes, inshallah, inshallah, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much for your time. We will certainly get in touch,
Thank you, thank
inshallah,
you.
to get more updates from tomorrow.
Yeah, inshallah. From tomorrow, we'll be keeping you updated on all the flights that will be departing, because every day two, 3 flights from each airline will be departing Jeddah to Nigeria.
Alhamdulillah for that. Thank you very much. Do have a wonderful
Yes.
day ahead.
Same to you. Same to you.
Alhamdulillah, we have this sharing news coming through from Saudi Arabia. Also, let's take a listen to the update we have from the official of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria concerning the delays in flight operation.
Welfare and comfort of the pilgrims is paramount to us. So they were ushered in, checked in into hotels. Then we started discussion, high-level discussions with authorities concerned. We had a meeting with the officials of Ministry of Hajj and Umrah at Jeddah, and they agreed that the flights from 4th to 6th out of Medina would call. Thereafter, all flights, subsequent flights, as from 7th would be out of Jeddah. But then we suffered the cancellation in Medina. Therefore, the pilgrims became stranded. Even though they were check-in into hotels, their upkeep is guaranteed. That was not their desire. Their desire is to go back to Nigeria. So there was tension and anxiety. More so, they don't know when they would eventually go back. They didn't know. So that also necessitated us to seek to have a meeting, high-level meeting with the officials of Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, officials of the General Civil Aviation Authority in Saudi Arabia, GACA, our carriers, the Continental Hajj Commission. The meeting was held again in Jeddah. And we had a very lengthy period, more than 5 hours, discussing these issues. Finally, we took census of Nigerian pilgrims awaiting to be evacuated to Nigeria from Medina, those who had reached Medina as at that time. And we discovered there were 2,220 or thereabout pilgrims, all checked into hotels at the expense of Hajj Commission in order to guarantee their welfare. What would be the remedy? Finally, they listened to our complaints, they appreciated our predicament, they sympathized with the pilgrims, and they gave approvals for flights to take off out of Medina to evacuate this number of people. As of now, I'm talking to you, that number had effectively been evacuated to Nigeria. Only 16 or 17 of them could not secure accommodation in the aircraft. They would be moved to to Mecca on their way to Medina based on availability of flights. Earlier on, outside these 2,220 or thereabout pilgrims, there were about 79 pilgrims earlier on in Medina, 3 days before that incident. Pilgrims belonging to a tour operating company who had booked them through Qatar Airline. Somehow the driver who took them from Mecca after securing the release, before they arrived in Medina, they lost their way and they lost the flights. And you know, because of every congestion as at this time, booking a flight under scheduled airlines is not an easy thing. Once you miss the opportunity, you'll have to wait for some time before you can get another opportunity. Alhamdulillah, as I'm now talking to you, only 20 of them, I was told, could not be evacuated out of Medina, and they are on their way right now to Mecca to join the other 15, whom I told you earlier, for us to arrange for their safe return to Nigeria. Another condition they gave us for the pilgrims in Medina before they could return to Nigeria was that none of them would go to the airport with their luggage. It was a very unreasonable thing, but we had to accept it. We tried, we could not change the situation. Therefore, we were forced to accept it. The airlines were there, they complained bitterly, but we all realized it's better we accept, no matter how extreme the situation is, to be able to evacuate the pilgrims rather than to reject the opportunity given to us. The pilgrims under the tour operating companies are expected to be treated like any other international pilgrim. or the passenger. They are supposed to go to the airport with their baggage, check-in baggage. They weigh it, they screen it, and give them tag. But they said they will not allow that because the facilities at the airport would not take that much at a particular time. The airlines suggested a whole own area be created where the pilgrims could be released in smaller number for the checking in, but still they refused. At the end, the airlines collected the baggage at their residences and their hotels and did the tagging, did the formalities there, and transported them to Nigeria. It's a clumsy arrangement, but it's still better than keeping the pilgrims in Medina for a period only God knows when it will end. So this is the situation with regards to the operation in Medina. Now that we are moving out of Medina, we are coming to Jeddah. Up to this very moment, I'm telling you, no additional approval had been given for the airlift of the pilgrims. The GACA people have invited the air carriers for a meeting at as from 4, made it to be a 30-minute meeting for each of the carriers. Our officials are there now attending the meeting. So we hope by the end of the meeting we'll have the slots approved, and then airlift of pilgrims to Nigeria will commence in earnest, involving all the approved carriers. As of now, only Flyners, which is a Saudi-based airline, is actively flying out with Air Peace and Aero and Azman have one flight here and there, one flight each here and there, which will not be satisfactory. So because of this slot constraint, we have an age-long policy of ensuring justice to the pilgrims. We try to maintain the sequence of arrival into the kingdom by all the pilgrims. That is respecting the principles of first in, first out, last in, last out. One would wonder. As of now, so many pilgrims have departed to Nigeria. As of now, as I'm talking to you, almost 7,000 pilgrims under the state quota have been returned to Nigeria. We have carried out about 17 flights. Yet, Nasarawa state pilgrims who had the opportunity of coming the first to leave Nigeria for this year's Hajj, those who were involved in the inaugural flight are still in the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. One would wonder what went wrong. Why are we gestationing that principle of first in, first out? We have not. We are compelled by the circumstances. Flyners, a Saudi-based carrier, was able to secure all the slots it required to fly out or to evacuate all the pilgrims assigned to it from Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, Niger, Lagos, and the Ocean states. So they have been busy doing that. So Alhamdulillah, aero contractors who are the carriers of Nasarawa State, inshallah, today 8th, they will be able to fly out with the first flight of Nasarawa. Subsequent flights will depend on the outcome of the meeting currently taking place in Jeddah by GACA and the air carriers with our officials in attendance. So if additional slots are approved, particularly to Aero, the Aero will be able to continue to evacuate the Nasarawa State pilgrims on back-to-back basis without any break, inshallah. So we appeal to all the pilgrims to reason with us, be patient, have confidence in us that we are not unmindful of their concern. We are praying for Allah to continue to support us, so much so that we'll be able to satisfy their desire of going back home in safety and
Alhamdulillah, we just heard that from the National Commissioner for Operations, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Alhaji Abdullahi Magaji Hardawa, explaining all of those in details. And also, let's just give you quickly the total number of flights is now pegged as 27 total airlift, talking about pilgrims that have returned back home at 10,657 so far, and that is how far we can go on today's edition of Echoes of Hajj. Thank you for listening, and inshallah we will come back tomorrow with more updates from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. My name is Ali Udoma.